Hi guys, and welcome back to the next episode of In the Knoll, where today we'll be sitting down with the recently installed pastor of Sacred Heart Church at Maryknoll School, Father Ace. How are you doing, Father?
Good. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. So I think we're just going to jump right into it. So I kind of wanted to start right at the beginning. So kind of your childhood, how you first got into Catholicism or religion, how you kind of became a priest.
Okay. So I grew up in American Samoa. It's a smaller island south of the Pacific, And in my upbringing, my mother especially was very rooted in her Catholic faith, which actually my mom was converted to the Catholic faith. My dad was the one that was Catholic. But I always tell people my mom became more Catholic than my dad. And I think it was that upbringing that my mom instilled, my parents as well. I mean, my dad did work or help with that. Growing up back home, everything was very communal. So I remember whenever we go home, we get home from school, the first thing my parents would tell us is you do your chores, and after you're done with your chores, see if there's anything else that needs to be done at the house, and if not, then go to the church. And that was always like how we grew up. And I think that upbringing of service, of community, helped me in my faith, helped me grow in service to others, service to the church, and this sense of unity and coming together. So that really inspired me. And there are other reasons that inspired me to be a priest as well. Yeah.
So then if you grew up with that, do you think that kind of pushed you towards being a priest, or did you have any other paths that you were intending to follow?
Actually, I wanted to be a teacher. Yeah. When I was in high school, I was very inspired by a lot of my high school teachers. And I wanted to be, that role model growing up. But what led me to be a priest was my dad passed away when I was a junior in high school. And it's through the passing of my dad that I saw more to the priesthood. So I was very close to my dad. I'm the oldest of the family. I'm oldest of 5. And when my dad passed away, my whole world kind of crumbled around me. I thought there was no more purpose in life. But in that time when my dad passed away, the priest of our parish came over to bless his body, and he prayed with us. And then the priest came again the next day, and then the following day. It was that example and role model of that priest in his ministry that I saw more to the priesthood. See, when I was growing up, I thought priests only works on Sunday. I don't know what they do for the other days of the week. But I saw more to that. I saw that this priest was there at our lowest time in life, and I saw the light of Christ through him. And when I saw what he did for me and for my family, I wanted to be that. I wanted to be that person, to be a light to somebody in their darkest moment.
So when you entered priesthood, would you say that was kind of like your goal or the driving factor into what you wanted to dedicate your priesthood to almost?
In a way, yes. I've always been a big believer in the father figure because, I looked up to my father. And when my father passed away, I was searching for a father figure. But it wasn't until a priest reminded me that you always had a father, which was God the Father. And when I made that connection, my prayer life changed. My approach to priesthood changed as well. I always remind myself that my presence, my words reflect me as a father figure to the people I minister to. And now I'm here at Sacred Heart Church at Maryknoll School as not just a priest, but a father to the many students and staff, faculty, and parishioners here.
So speaking of Maryknoll and of Sacred Heart Church, would you say that when you came here, what would you say that your goals were, like in alignment with both your priesthood and the things you wanted to do to change and to influence the school and the church?
So like I mentioned earlier, I grew up in a very communal lifestyle and culture. So I wanted to bring that idea of community. Now, of course, the Sacred Heart Church can say they are a community. Maryknoll School can say they are a community. But how can we see that as one big community and not just two separate communities? So the first thing I wanted to instill in our staff and faculty and the parishioners that we are one big community. So just like in the Polynesian culture, for the American families, they see the immediate family or the core family as just mom, dad, brother, and sister. For the Samoan culture, the Polynesian culture, your core family is the extended family, which includes auntie, uncle, cousins. Yeah, that's your core family there. Because they're the ones that comes together when you go through problems or even rejoice with you in celebrations. So I wanted to see from that perspective how we as a Sacred Heart Church and Maryknoll School can come together in that bigger core family and not just two smaller communities.
So do you have any specific ideas or goals in mind that you want to achieve to create that community?
Well, the first thing I did was, to start from the little things. Jesus said, if we are faithful and true to the small things, we will be entrusted bigger things. Yeah. And the first thing I did was the language. So at the church and even the staff, I reminded them that our name is Sacred Heart Church and Maryknoll School. It's not just Sacred Heart Church. It's not just Maryknoll School. Now, of course, if we do events at Maryknoll School, we will say, welcome to Maryknoll School, welcome. But the parishioners noticed that, even in our bulletin. It was not just a bulletin just for Sacred Heart Church. It's a bulletin for Sacred Heart Church and the school. So these little acts of what we do, how we say it, what we say, I think it means a lot because people start to pick up on that thing.
Did you have any others that you want to kind of, like any other ideas or goals that you want to kind of pursue down the line?
There are some big goals, but that's more on, how we can combine, for example, or have representation from the church side in school committees or the school board. And the same thing with the school board. How can we place some of their members in church pastoral council or finance council? Because I think unless we get into what's going on at the church, what's going on at the school, I think it will bring a lot more clarity to what's happening in both ends or communities. Yeah. Instead of us just focusing on our own committee or on our own community and church on theirs, we don't see what's going on unless we're actually in there. Yeah. So that's one of the things I guess I'm looking ahead just for this year to see how we can bridge that gap between the two councils or committees on both sides.
So then for the community that we have so far, how have you liked it so far? Have you been liking Maryknoll?
It's been very pleasant, to be honest. I was my first time here, my first day in the office, Shauna, the president of the school, came over and welcomed me with a nice basket of fruits and a card. And even the leadership team, the teachers, when I was walking around, everybody they knew who I was anyways before I even got here. So people have been very hospitable and welcoming since, I've been here first day one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that about does it for everything that we that we were intending to cover. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of In the Knoll. Stay tuned for more episodes next time. See you.